The International Monetary Fund has hiked India's growth forecast for FY24 from 6.3% to 6.7%. The fund has also increased the forecast for FY25 and FY26 to 6.5%, citing resilience in domestic demand. Global growth, by the way, the forecast has been upped for 2024 by 20 basis points to 3.1%. Ritu standing by with the details. Ritu, so hiking the forecast, the growth estimates for India, and it's still lower than what the government and the RBI are projecting, though.
Well, in a nutshell, the global economy is approaching a soft landing with the big threat of inflation moderating and growth holding up steady, but risks do remain. Let me start with India, where IMF has upgraded the outlook, but all said and done, it still lags the figures projected by the RBI and even the advanced estimates of the NSO for the current financial year. IMF now projects a 6.7% growth for India in this year, which is 40 basis points higher than its October forecast. Now, compared to this, RBI expects the economy to grow by 7% in FY24 and the NSO by 7.3%. As for the coming years, IMF says growth in India is expected to remain strong at 6.5% for both FY25 and FY26, which is 20 basis points higher than previously projected. The upgrade, IMF says, reflects resilience in domestic demand for India. Now, onto the global outlook, where growth is projected at 3.1% this year, which is higher than the previous forecast, and 3.2% in 2025. The upward revision is on account of greater than expected resilience in economies like the United States and others. However, IMF says that the forecast for 2024 and 2025 is still below the historical average of 3.8%. For advanced economies, growth is seen slowing slightly to 1.5% this year before rising to 1.8% the next year. And for emerging and developing market economies, at 4.1% this year and 4.2% the next. Global headline inflation is expected to fall to 5.8% in 2024 and to 4.4% by next year. And overall, about 80% of the world's economies are expected to see lower annual average headline and core inflation this year. Now, there are both upside and downside risks to this, depending on how slow or fast inflation is, what happens in China, the impact of artificial intelligence, and so on.
Ritu, many thanks for joining us. Up next on India Business.